but we have added a lot of visual sugar to the visualization. So it gives this kind of cinematic experience, and of course it's full touch. You can look at the and look at the different text and tags on the photos. And this may look extremely fancy, but it's just a lot of visual sugar, and that's all possible due to Cascade.
And this, we're baking this stuff right into the core controls. So again, you mentioned you're using a list here, populated with images, and some of the crazy effects, the shaders, the curves on the edges, the drop shadows. These are all effects that are baked into the core framework that you as a developer can choose to employ. You don't need a background in graphics or physics to be able to get access to these kind of experiences.
Yeah, I mean, GL is a mess. It's and writing this from scratch in GL will take a lot of time, but with Cascade, this is made simple.
So this is pretty mind-blowing. Let's take a look at some of the other examples.
The next one is I would say a little bit more useful. It shows how flexible Cascade is. This demo uses our Vertex APIs, and Vertex allows you to create a new kind of user experience. So this is like an inbox with your contacts, a couple of contacts, and it's kind of an infographics data visualization of your inbox. So what you see here is my communication. If I zoom out using my pinch gesture, I can see it's my communication. Basically,
the performance is just seamless. I mean, it just flows. It's incredibly fluid.
And you can see different contacts here. You can see a tag cloud with the trending topics. So I can quickly browse through my inbox and see what I was talking about with different people and what kind of communication channels you have. And I can zoom in and see how the communication working. I can, of course, choose in a particular person, in this case Nicole, and see what we were talking about. And all this is done using Cascade. It's fully touch-enabled user interface, and it has a lot of APIs that allows you to create this.
What's really incredible about this for me is it helps to show the vision of how the UI framework can really drive that next generation of experience. So here you've got all your communications, and I think there's a huge data set behind this, something like 300,000 messages behind this, and yet you're able to very quickly dive right into it, into detail. And you can see the UI framework.
And now I'm looking up
with every action.
More or less individual Facebook updates from Nicole. So it's very cool, and shows a little bit what Cascade can do. But this is still, I mean, not every app will look as futuristic as this one.
Yep.
We do have a set of built-in core UI components where we try to bake in interaction design and visual design. I'm going to show very quickly some of the core UI components we're working with.
So it's not just about the visual flourish and some of these mind-blowing effects, but every common control, whether it's buttons or lists or containers, we will have available to developers in Cascades for them to reuse in their application.
Right. Not everyone wants to be a fancy designer, so of course we have sliders and buttons and input fields and animations, layouts. You have it, you name it. It's a very easy to use framework. We have both a declarative view of the framework, meaning it's you can very quickly create a UI, and at the same time we have a pure programmatic API if you prefer to work with that. Or you can combine them if you want. Here's another example of built-in UI design, or an innovative navigation stack that you can use for your application.
This is great. Now let's see this in action in a typical app.
Yeah, so just because you use these standard components doesn't mean you should limit yourself and don't use any effects. We can add effects also on this standard stuff. So as you can see, this is a notes app where we have a number of messages like in sheets. It looks pretty basic, but still I've added, in this case I've added a delete effect. That's pretty neat. With animation,
awesome. So you're getting these animations, you're getting the 3D drop shadow. This is all, again, standard in the framework. So as a developer, you're not investing your time and energy to learn physics and graphics.
Right, and even the list you can add. So in this case, I've added a filter effect, so I can filter out the items that do not start using a pinch gesture.
Very cool.
So it's very cool. It's very dynamic, and
so incorporating 3D, some of the mind-blowing effects, but in a very useful way to filter the list. So you're getting that visual cue that it's being filtered.
It's going to be amazing to see this in the hands of the developers here. So
this is great, and thank you so much for coming and sharing with us.
Thank you.